Boxing. We are kicking off the 2014 boxing season right here on GFL.TV. And, of course, Comcast Sportsnet. Rich Quinones alongside my broadcast partner, Ron Christian. And, Ron, as we get set for the next bout of the evening, you really like this one. Ievgen Khytrov taking on Romon Barber. And you've got a lot of great things to say about this young kid in Khytrov.
Khytrov, by the way, this was supposed to be his professional debut last month in New York City, and there was a complication, and Romon Barber was not able to make that fight. Khytrov, what a killer this guy is, a world amateur champion, had over 500 fights, 80% knockouts according to his people, hard to judge, but we do know he's part of the invasion of Ukrainian killers. The Eastern Europeans are just really smoking professional boxing now, and he's the latest.
And they've made their mark over the past couple of years in the boxing community. All right, let's set the stage. We'll throw it inside the ring to Larry Tornabi.
Introducing you first, coming out of the blue corner, all the way from St. Louis, weighing 161 pounds, wearing blue trunks with white trim. His professional record, 4 wins, 3 of those by knockout against 6 losses. Put your hands together for Romon Barber. And his opponent coming out of the red corner with a professional record of 1-0. That win by knockout. He weighs 164 pounds and comes from Ukraine, Russia, wearing the gold and blue trunks. Put your hands together for Ievgen Lionheart Khytrov. Sean Clark, our referee, with the final instructions. 6 rounds, middleweights.
At the press conference, one of the trainers stood up. This was for their fight in New York, his first professional fight, which he won by a first-round knockout,
right, fellas,
and said, someday you're going to say, we were here for
times.
Khytrov's first professional fight.
Times.
That's how
touch 'em
much
up,
they
fellas.
think of this guy.
That is certainly high praise. And, again, his first pro bout was slated for 8 rounds, scored a first-round TKO over Christian Nava back in December. 2011 middleweight world amateur champ. There's comparisons to GGG. Golovkin, is the great Hall of Fame coach Bill Parcells said, let's just not stick him in the Hall of Fame just yet, but we'll see how this one plays out. Barber against Khytrov, and again, Khytrov in the gold and blue trunks, and Barber in the blue trunks with the white trim. Barber fighting out of St. Louis with a record of 3-6-3. Khytrov, as we alluded to, Ron Christian, 1-0, just 25 years of age. Barber, 6 years older at 31 years of age, has dropped 4, 5, and 6 of his last 8. Last 2, by the way, his opponents, Antonio Johnson, Frank Galaza, had a combined record 18-1.
He fights tough guys. He's not intimidated coming into this fight, but he knows he's. You mentioned the comparison to Gennady Golovkin, a Kazakhstani, another Eastern European.
Yes.
He fights very much like him. His hands are up. The same kind of short, ferocious punches, a very tight left hook, a very tight right hand. Now, the problem is he gets hit more than Gennady Golovkin, who's got an excellent defensive fighter. So there is some hope for this guy, Barber. I think kind of remote hope, in my view. But
This scheduled for 6 rounds, middleweight division. I want to kind of piggyback one of the things you said. I can tell right away that Khytrov fights very tall, and you're right, he's going to take some punches, and Barber looks like the game plan right away is to come out, be aggressive, force the issue with this guy.
Barber told me before the fight that he wasn't going to press the issue. He felt that would be playing into Khytrov's hands, but he said, I'm going to keep working my left hand.
And that's what he's doing. He's snapping that jab. Excellent point. You are dead on. He's snapping it with a lot of consistency, and those add up, too. Again, it's interesting. In the backyard, these two guys, different backyard, so to speak. We're in Pennsylvania. Sometimes we know that the judging, they do look at certain things, and we've seen it throughout the last year or so, the broadcast we've done. If you're a lot active, if you're connecting, if you've got some power punches, if you're pressing the issue, that helps you. That helps you.
Khytrov threw a couple of terrific left hooks to the
he's
body,
really
by the way.
peppering them, too.
But he's taking some shots.
He fights tall, Ron.
He does fight tall. He takes some shots, but he has got his left hook is ferocious.
I can see why you're high on this kid, because you can just see around in. He just has that it factor. I don't want to overstate what I'm saying,
Sure.
But you can tell as he sweeps in with that left, comes back with another jab, another left, goes downstairs.
Oh.
Good combination counter by Barber, taking a punch. Oh, Khytrov got him with a left, and right away his nose is starting to bleed a little bit, and that mouthpiece is almost dangling out. I don't know if Barber actually outboxed himself, outpunched himself in round number 1.
It is exhausting fighting a guy with the kind of power that Khytrov brings. But I love what Barber's doing what he told me he was going to do.
Oh, good combination by Khytrov. Then Barber comes back with a counter with a right. Under 10, round number 1. Action-packed round number 1. Oh, Barber tagged Khytrov again with a left.
I love what Barber did in that round.
Wow.
It was a Khytrov round. I love what Barber did. Khytrov, remember, is a veteran of over 500
You
amateur
can't put a price
fights.
tag on that.
It's ridiculous experience. And by the way, he scored, according to his people, over 400 knockouts.
Which is amazing.
That's ridiculous in the amateur ranks.
Well, Barber comes out and testing the waters again. Snaps that left, triples up with that left. Khytrov again with the gold and blue trunks. Barber with the blue trunks and the white trim. Round number 2, scheduled for 6 middleweights.
Having watched a little bit of Barber's action in the past, I thought he had too much foot movement. He bounces up and down too much. He throws a wild right hand.
Which we just saw dead on.
But
Oh, good left by Khytrov. And when you do that, Ron, that leaves you open.
It does.
And you leave yourself very vulnerable to that counter.
And Khytrov's a great counterpuncher.
Snaps in that left again, slips it in.
But having said it, I like what Barber's done so far. He's done as much as he can do. I don't know that he can withstand the continuous pressure from this guy, but he's done a fine job so far. What more can you ask of a guy other than giving his all? And Barber's doing that.
Khytrov really trying to cut down the angles and stalking Barber right now. But again, we can see it clear as night. I should say clear as day, not clear as night. Clear as day that nose has been affected. There's blood trickling from that nose, and we'll see how Barber responds. Sometimes, you said this several times during the broadcast, when you're cut and you taste your own blood, that can get you going.
Yes. You never know. The guy who's bleeding sometimes comes on, and sometimes it incites the other guy.
Barber went downstairs with a nice left.
They exchanged beautiful left hooks to the body.
Khytrov with a right. Barber again. Khytrov with a counter left and then a right. Comes back with another left. Barber comes with a left of his own. Good counter. Snaps that left again. Tries to go downstairs. Khytrov with a vicious left and a right. Comes back with another right. Oh, Khytrov took one.
So did
Barber. Good
Barber.
counter. Great exchange. Under a minute to go. Round number 2.
I'm dazzled by Barber's ability to withstand the power shots of this guy. He's done a great job. Again, I think Khytrov's winning the fight, but nice job by Barber.
Khytrov certainly fighting tall, fighting forward, really trying to position himself. And you can see the game plan. He's trying to get Barber up against the ropes. Now they'll meet back square in the center of the ring. Good exchange by Khytrov. Barber again counters with a left of his own. Good left again. Then a right by Khytrov goes downstairs. Barber comes back with a counter. Khytrov with a right, then a left. Barber's hurt, Ron.
Oh, no doubt he's hurt, but he's fighting back. He's throwing punches. I don't think he can continue to...
Oh! Mercy with a right by Khytrov, and Barber goes down. Oh, mercy. That could be the night for Ramon Barber.
Well, Barber ain't quitting.
Sean Clark wiping down the gloves, says, fight on. Oh, and the bell saved him. Oh, Barber's winded. He's dazed. But you know what? As I love to say, the ticker is still working. What a barrage of punches by Khytrov. You mentioned the power. Oh, my goodness.
Terrific right hand, but he had softened him up with so many real hard shots and taken a few, and it just did him fabulous. Landed a fabulous right hand, down went Parker. Our Barber. I don't know that Barber's going to be able to survive the next round, by the way.
A lot of action in that round number 2, Ron Christian.
And there's that right hand that drops him, catches him right on the side of the jaw. Bam, down he goes.
And you saw it. He was exposed, dropped those hands. Khytrov with a vicious right hand. Down goes Barber. Sets up with his left. Cleans him up with the right.
Great angles. Good job, GFL.
Unbelievable. So 2 rounds in the books, 10-8 round. You can just see Khytrov now taking control of this fight. It's scheduled for 6 rounds. Ievgen Khytrov against Ramon Barber. Barber in the blue trunks and the white trim. Khytrov in the gold and blue trunks. scoring that knockdown late stages, round number 2 with a left, and then he connects with the right. Now he starts off with a left and another right.
As they say, he throws punches with mean intentions, everything he throws.
Keep an eye on Sean Clark, watching Barber. Khytrov now teeing off on Barber. Has him up against the ropes with a left and a right. Oh, goodness! Oh, Khytrov with a left.
Now, wait, he's got to be stopping the fight. There is no standing 8 count.
No, but that is ruled a knockdown because he would have fell
The
back
ropes
if the
held him.
ropes were not there.
Exactly
and
right.
Sean Clark waves it off. And that's going to be the fight. Oh, my goodness mercy. Oh, my. Ievgen Khytrov, Rod Christian, you saw something. You researched. You spoke to people. Wow.
Yeah, Khytrov is the real thing. Again, I want to say he is susceptible to being hit. And he did that. Christian Nava got a lot of good shots in on him before he was taken out, as did Ramon Barber, who put up a gallant effort.
Put up a great effort. The bottom line was he was going down if the ropes weren't there to protect him. You would have scored that. Another knockout. Wow, unbelievable. Let's take a look at the action here as Khytrov closes him out, Ron.
Here's the against the ropes, and you're right. He, without the ropes, he's down. That's a knockdown. Sean Clark properly called it.
You know what that reminded me of? A little bit Kirkland Tapia. Up against the ropes. He was out, really, before he was going to hit the canvas. He was done. So, wow, that was a very impressive win by Ievgen Khytrov. Let's make it official. We'll go inside the ring for the particulars. Larry Tornabi.
"42 seconds of the third round. Winner by TKO, Ievgen Khytrov.
25-year-old improves to 2-0. 2 TKOs in his young career. A very game gritty Ramon Barber falls to 3-7. And by the way, Barber came into this having been knocked out 4 times in his career. It's 5 now, but Ron, just an impressive victory by a young man who people are comparing to GGG. You mentioned 2011 middleweight world amateur champ. Over 500 amateur fights. Unbelievable. And we see right there, he knows how to finish off an opponent.
That was the first right hand that dropped him, and here's going to be, I think, the left hook that stops him, and there it is.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable action. All right, we'll step aside. More boxing to come right after this.